things. First of all, Emergent is working across several initiatives. First of all, as you correctly pointed out, we have partnered with Novavax to develop and bring to the market a vaccine to help protect against coronavirus. And secondly, we are using our own platform, which has been proven historically to be safe and effective in the development of very similar therapeutic treatments, such as those that protect against things like anthrax and botulism. So this technology platform, we think, is a fairly low risk and has a high probability of getting something to patients in the near term. Through this technology, we hope to be able to be in patients, as you suggested, later this summer. So I don't disagree with the fact that this is going to take some time, but this is precisely why we have chosen to get into this market and make these products available. We've been doing this for 22 years as a business. In fact, that's all we do is focus on public health threats. So this is something that we're committed to it as an organization, passionate about, and very confident that we can bring something to the market.
Well, I think there are two issues. So some things I think people get, like I see more people washing their hands, I see more episodes of social distancing. I think people are working from home, they are more cautious. So all of those things seem very positive. But on the other hand, we're seeing a lot of other things, like people are getting very panicked, and so you have people who are very low risk flooding the ERs, for example, to get tested. So that's an issue. We're hearing about people stealing, let's say, hand sanitizer, face masks, all of these things from doctors' offices and hospitals, which then creates more fear and panic and lawlessness. And if we look at other countries, like, for example, our neighbors in Italy, you know, there are problems. So areas like prisons, jails, these are places, I mean, nursing homes and cruise ships, we've already seen that, but the homeless, these are places where there have been viral outbreaks in the past, and they're very vulnerable to that. So if we look at what happened in Italy, the prisoners, for example, you know, because of restrictions, they actually overtook some of the prisons with the prison riots, and then you see deaths not directly related to coronavirus, but because of the violence in the prisons, and then because of methadone overdoses. We've seen prisoners kind of attacking the infirmaries. In China, you're seeing a higher rate of domestic violence from the quarantine during that period. So I think, you know, people, as there's more fear, some people take safer precautions, some people, on the other hand, react, and you see other issues.
We have a chance to avert that kind of an outcome, but I think it's too late for us to have the kind of outcome that South Korea achieved. We need to get as close to that as possible, and every day that goes by that we don't have the screening in place broadly and don't put in place the tough mitigation steps, we're losing valuable time. And it's not just mitigation on the part of what businesses are doing, like the NBA by canceling those games. And these are smart steps that businesses are taking. It's also social distancing at an individual level. People not having dinner parties for a month. We'll get through this. This is a 1 or 2 month affair, but we need to take the steps now to make sure that we don't have a large epidemic.
Doctor, you've been making these warnings literally daily on the air, and I imagine having conversations with people in the administration that you used to work in about this. What's the reaction you get from them about why they haven't pushed harder, given that you also want them to push harder even today?
Right. Well, I don't want to betray the conversations I have with the folks at the White House, but I think that, you know, we have a difficult system in this country where a lot of authority is given to local and state public health officials and local and state elected leaders to make decisions about their public health and about their outbreaks. And so if you're looking at this from a national interest, you might dramatically slow Seattle's economy so that there really isn't too much going in and out of that region, given the scope of the outbreak underway. But when you're looking at it in the context of Seattle, you might make some different decisions. We really need to think collectively in the national interest, and that's where what Michael Strain and I wrote about. Congress has a role to play in helping to support cities and states to take the tough decisions to slow their economies by supporting not just the cities, but the individuals who are going to be hurt by those decisions, particularly lower income Americans.